These are my playoff predictions. I decided to just do the entire bracket just for fun, just see how right I am, or how wrong I am, come Super Bowl time. Was my bracket even close? Was it super far off? Last season, I actually got all the wild card matchups right, but I only got one divisional matchup right. And then I split the conference championship games, and then I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl. I got most of my playoff picks right, but the divisional round really screwed me over. So I'm kind of hoping that, it's different this year. So we're going to run through the entire first round, the entire divisional round, conference championships, Super Bowl, and who I have winning and why. Starting off, we'll go with the first matchup, Niners hosting the Seahawks. I almost said Niners at Seahawks. No, that wouldn't work. Jesus, I'm already looking to the divisional round. The 49ers should be able to get out of here with a win. For me, the Seahawks kind of just limped into the playoffs. Honestly, I think the Lions would have given them a much better fight. Still think the Niners would win regardless of who the 7th seed was, whether it was Detroit, Seattle, Green Bay. It wouldn't have mattered. San Fran would have beat them all. Seattle, again, kind of came in here limping. They struggled against the Rams, and I think they're going to struggle against the Niners. The Niners, I think even if they are dealing with injuries, I haven't seen the full injury report, but I think even if the Niners are dealing with injuries, it's not going to matter. They should get out of this one with a win, and Pete Carroll will fall in the playoffs to the 49ers. San Fran gets the win in this one. I'm going to call it 27-13 right now. Then we'll go to the next matchup. It's the second Saturday matchup. It is the Jaguars hosting the Chargers. And I know, week 3, that came about, and I honestly forgot about that when I was making my pick here. But I was still just I know the Jaguars are on a hot streak right now, but I gotta like the Chargers here. I know they lost to the Broncos, but they rested their starters in the second half. All right. Plus, the Jaguars didn't look super pretty against the Titans either. They won one game against the Titans. Trevor Lawrence has 4 touchdowns. Next one, he only has 1. And he threw over 200 yards. He didn't have a bad game by any means, but I don't know, man. Against a mid-Titans defense, going up against a much better Chargers defense, I don't know, man. I don't know. Plus, when the Jaguars blew out the Chargers, it was in LA, and you can make what you want. Chargers, they were slotted to be Super Bowl favorites at the time, or at least playoff favorites, at the very least. They're in the playoffs right now, but Justin Herbert, he was dealing with rib injuries. That O-line was banged up. The defense was banged up. Everything about the Chargers was injured. Right now, they're supposed to be getting Joey Bosa back. From what I've heard, Rashawn Slater's supposed to be coming back. Herbert looks like he's a lot better than what he was back in week 3. And I think the Chargers have what it takes to win, although I would not be shocked at all if the Jaguars did win because of how good they're doing. I think the Chargers narrowly get the win here. I'm going to call it 26-23 is the final score. It's going to be a good game. For sure. And again, I wouldn't be shocked if the Jags won. Next up, it is going to be the Bills hosting Miami. The first game on Sunday. I'm going to take the Bills. Obviously, I'm rolling with them. Obviously, you can see the rest of the bracket, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But I have Buffalo winning this game just for the simple fact that, the script is kind of flipped from the start of the season. At the beginning of the season, Buffalo was about as crippled as they came. This season, now it's Miami. Tua was out in concussion protocol. I'm pretty sure Terran Armstead, their left tackle, is out. Tyreek Hill, no, it was Jalen Waddle dealing with an injury. That was my Echo, my Alexa Echo. But anyways, I think Buffalo being at home, it should benefit them. Obviously, I know there are stories about backups, third stringers. Obviously, you talk about Nick Foles leading the Eagles to a Super Bowl, but the Eagles had the bye week. I'm not sleeping on Miami nonetheless, though. We should be able to win this game by a pretty sizable margin. If we don't, then I do definitely have some concerns, and I might end up changing my Super Bowl pick next week. But, if we blow out Miami, I think I'm still going to rock with Buffalo. I think Buffalo is way too much to lose at this point, playing for DeMar, playing for their city, playing for their injuries, and really just playing with everything that they've got at this point. I think the Bills should be able to get out of here with a win. I'm going to call it 34-13. At least that's what I think it should be, but we'll see what happens. Anything can happen, honestly. Next up, I got the Vikings hosting the Giants. And this is going to be my upset of the week. I'm actually taking the Giants this week. I don't know why. Something is just calling me to pick the Giants, and I might end up regretting this pick later. I know the Vikings beat the Giants earlier in the year, but it was only by 3 points. Vikings, they got their butts kicked by Green Bay. Plus, Minnesota is not going to be... Jesus, I can't speak. They're not going to be playing at 1 p.m. Eastern. They're going to be playing at 1:30 p.m. Pacific. So, Kirk Cousins, he's only lost one game at 1 p.m. Eastern games. Other than that, he's taken more losses than wins in either primetime games or games that don't take place at 1 p.m. Eastern. For the Giants, I would definitely like to see the Giants be able to move on, and I think they have the opponent to do so. I mean, if they were playing the Buccaneers, I'd probably be taking the Giants. I mean, the Giants, I don't know. I almost didn't pick the Giants because, much like Seattle, they kind of limped in the playoffs, and I was a little iffy on this pick. Again, I'm not going to be shocked if Minnesota ends up winning this game, but I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Giants win this game, I guess, because 28-24. Solely because I think the Giants' defense can get a stop, and Minnesota's defense is just trash. Trash. But to be fair, Buffalo only put up 6 points on the Vikings in the second half, so I don't got much room to talk. Minnesota's offense will definitely keep them in the game, but I think the Giants' defense, it won't shut them down, but I think they'll make enough plays to get them the win. And I think Saquon will be able to run all over Minnesota. And I mean, I could be wrong. And again, this is another matchup where I wouldn't be shocked if the home team won. But for one, I got to pick a road team. And for two, I think the Giants can definitely win this game. Next up, we got the Bengals hosting the Ravens. Now that Lamar Jackson is out, I really don't think this should be close. But much like Buffalo and Miami, be aware. Don't let, I don't know how to describe it. Just be on your toes. Anything can happen. You remember the stories with Nick Foles. You remember the stories with Frank Reich when he was a quarterback for Buffalo back in the 90s. He led the largest comeback in postseason history, and he wasn't even the starter. He was the backup quarterback for the Bills. All right, and he led the largest comeback in NFL history. Do not fall victim to the Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati. I want us to get our game in the divisional round. I'm hoping we can do our part. And he needs you guys to do your part as well. Otherwise, if we lose, you guys should just take the loss as well, because I think it'd be funny seeing the Dolphins and the Ravens square off against the Chiefs and then the winner of the Jags-Chargers game. But I think the Bengals realistically should win this game. I think if it's Tyler Huntley, the Bengals should win this one 31-17. If it's Brown, the quarterback with the last name Brown, Bengals should win by a lot more. 38-14. They have no business being that close with the Ravens. Last game, it is going to be the Cowboys at the Bucks. And you know what? Hang on. I'm actually going to take Tampa. I mean, my Super Bowl pick isn't really going to change. I still think the Niners are going to make it. But I'm actually going to take Tampa here. I know that just screwed everything up. That's why I was like, what the hell? But anyways, Tampa Bay, I think, should be able to win here. You're talking about the GOAT who, he thrives in the playoffs. It's the boogeyman. You can't bet against Tom Brady. And I know he's 45 and he hasn't played, his best career, but his best season, but his worst season is better than a lot of people's bests, all right? It'd be better than my best, I know that much. I'm over here throwing 30 picks and just one touchdown. But anyways, I think Tampa Bay's defense should be able to get the job done. And now that I think about it, Dallas, they did not put up any sort of a fight at all. They just folded over. Their offense struggled. Their entire team struggled against the Commanders. Sam Howell, a rookie quarterback, and the Washington Foreskins. You struggled against them, and you're going to struggle here against Tampa. Buccaneers win in an oddly low-scoring game, 18-13. Another weird score. Kind of a weird score in this one. And now we go to the divisional round, and let's assume we get that Bills-Bengals matchup. This time it's in Buffalo. I think the Bills do win this matchup. It's going to be close, and I think especially if Micah Hyde does return for this game, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Again, I think even if Hyde comes back, I wouldn't be shocked if Cincinnati won, but I think the injuries to the O-line in this one won't necessarily hurt him against Baltimore, but it is definitely going to hurt him against a team like the Bills. All right, if the Bengals had that O-line, from what I've heard, their left tackle, center, either right guard or right tackle, is injured right now. I have a worker who's a Bengals fan, so they've told me a lot about that. I got Buffalo hanging on to win this one. Should be a high-scoring, good game. I have Buffalo winning this one 38-34. Sorry, Cincinnati. We got to be the ones to dethrone Kansas City this time. Speak of the devil. Just kidding. Just kidding. I respect you guys. We got the Chiefs hosting the Chargers. Honestly, I could see the Chargers potentially winning this game. I mean, I'm kind of saying that because I want Buffalo to host the AFC Championship game. But I don't want to go to... And I know, like, we're not going to Arrowhead. We might have to go to Atlanta, though. It's kind of nice that Buffalo will either end their season at home or on neutral turf. They're not going to have to go into anybody's place and have their season hopes crushed there. Anyways, I think Kansas City looks really good right now. They're going to do ring around the rosy, pocket full of posy around the LA Chargers as they will advance to the conference championships. And they should win in a high-scoring game, but I don't know. I don't know if ring around the posy will get him to a Super Bowl, but it should get him past, the divisional round. Kansas City gets to the win here in another pretty good game, 34-27. And we'll go to the next one. It is the Giants at the Eagles. The Eagles are getting hurt with injuries at just the wrong time, man. And Jalen Hurts, I know Jalen just... he didn't have a great game in his first game back. Giants were resting their guys, and the Eagles, they were trying to fight for the 1 seed, and they only won by 6. And I know it was 22-9, and the Giants scored kind of like a consolation touchdown, make it a 1-score game. But still, it's not great for the Eagles, but I think it should get them past the Giants. It should be kind of a close game, kind of not. Maybe it's a 2-score game, 1-score game. I don't see the Eagles blowing out the Giants in this one, at least not with the kind of momentum that the Eagles have at this point. Jalen's injury really hurt this team. Yes, there was a pun intended. I know it wasn't very funny, but there was a pun. Eagles get the W here, though, 24-16 over the Giants. Next up, we got our rematch. It's the Buccaneers at the Niners. I don't think the score is going to be as bad, but I don't really expect the game to be close. San Francisco's defense is going to slow down Tom Brady. That offense of San Francisco is not all that bad, and I think the Niners should be able to get out of there with a win. Final score in this one, 28-17. Brock Purdy beats his dad. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills in Atlanta taking on the Chiefs. That's kind of a weird sentence to say. Never thought in 2023 I'd be saying Bills taking on the Chiefs in Atlanta. I don't think anybody would have ever envisioned that. Dude, like Atlanta Stadium, though, I think Mercedes-Benz Stadium. No, this Dome, I think, is in New Orleans. The stadium, I'm pretty sure, is in Atlanta. But anyways, whatever. Same concept. That stadium is nice. All right? That stadium is nice. And under Sean McDermott, he's won one game out there in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The Chiefs, I'm pretty sure they haven't. I think they have, but I think that stadium opened in like 2017. So, who knows? We'll see. I got Buffalo winning this game. I think as long as, they're not going to Arrowhead, they should be fine. I think even if they were going to Arrowhead, they have a good chance to win, but I definitely think it's better to not play in Arrowhead. Now, I don't know what I'm going to make of this game. This could be really high scoring, or this could be a lot like what we saw last time, 24-20. Which, it's not low scoring, but it's not exactly high scoring. It's kind of in the middle. But I think with how both these teams are playing and with how Buffalo's defense is kind of stooping down to KC's level to an extent, at least it looked like that against the Patriots, I think the Bills should win, but they're going to need to put up points. Buffalo gets the win here, 34-31. Again, I just think Buffalo has way too much on the line, way too much at stake to not at least make it, let alone win the Super Bowl. And speaking of the Super Bowl, who are they going to play there? I got the Niners. I think the Niners are going in here with so much momentum, it's almost overwhelming if you're an Eagles fan. Niners should be able to slow you down defensively if Jalen Hurts doesn't get back, be back to form. And I think the Niners and Brock Purdy have a great story going as well. Not as great as Buffalo's, but they have a great story going for them. Niners get the W here, and I think it's going to be a 2-score game. I'm going to call it 27-17. Actually, 30-20 is the final score. All right, and the Super Bowl. The game that I'm pretty certain everybody will be waiting for, and I know it's a game that a lot of people are expecting to happen, or at least the Niners are expected to get there, and it's either going to be Buffalo, KC, or Cincinnati. It's this one. I've got the Buffalo Bills not at, Jesus. It's going to be at State Farm Stadium, and they're going to take on the 49ers, who are very much used to going to Arizona and taking down, the Cardinals at State Farm Stadium. I got Buffalo winning this one, man. They're not playing an NFC East team in the Super Bowl. I mean, if the Bills played the Eagles, I'm pretty certain they'd be the first team in NFL history to play every single team in one division. Okay? That would be the NFC East. Hopefully they don't lose to all four teams, though. But I don't think they will here. I think Buffalo should get the win. They got way too much on the line. And I know I keep saying that. It'd be a nice story. Like, they got way too much they got way too much going for them to lose. And that I know I'm saying all that, but Buffalo, I would not be picking you guys to win the Super Bowl if I didn't truly believe you guys had a chance. You guys have a great defense, even though at times it does play like Kansas City's. And then you have an offense that can jack up a lot of points, even though you guys do turn the ball over quite a bit. As long as you don't turn the ball over against San Francisco in the Super Bowl, you guys should be okay. And again, that's assuming all these picks are right. If the Bills don't get to the Super Bowl, then I guess we don't have to worry about that. Buffalo gets the win here against the 49ers. I'm going to call this one 26-20. 26-21, sorry. And there you go. Those are my Super Bowl predictions. That's what I think will happen right now at this moment in time. I know, I'm sorry if you guys are kind of thrown off by the camera being cut off. I don't want you guys to see my Hurricane Katrina of a room. Right now, I'm supposed to be getting a green screen. I just ordered one yesterday, so I don't know when it's going to come in the mail, but, hopefully we get it, and then hopefully you guys don't have to see this mess that is my bedroom. But yeah, with that being said, you guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe if you're new, click that notification bell to get all the latest news and all my latest content. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.